Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Cinder Voice of the Customers. We're delighted to have Bo Lindhartd from Ibu Lindhartd Gastronomy. I hope I pronounced that well. And we're here to talk about what Bo has been doing in the face of the pandemic with his catering business, and also he has a sit-down burger restaurant that gets very nice reviews on Facebook if you want to check on that. So when you're in Denmark, please go eat. But Bo, welcome. Why don't you just tell us a little bit about your business?
Hello, my name is Bo Lindhartd, and it's called Ibu Lindhartd Gastronomy in Danish. Sorry, Paul. We are a catering business, among others. We started in 2004 and have developed into a larger catering company. We employ 15 people full-time. And then we have, as you were talking about, our burger restaurant called Bøf og Bolle. That means beef and buns in English, where we have 25 young people and 5 full-time employees as well. This started in 2014, and then we moved in only as a takeaway business, and then we moved to something called a cultural building in this community where we live in, where we opened the restaurant for like 2 years ago. That's pretty much it.
So you went from takeaway to sit-down restaurant, or eat, dine in, and takeaway.
Yeah, it's combined, right? So we still have takeaway, of course, and then we have the restaurant. And the takeaway was very nice to have in the beginning until people started to notice that we were there and come visiting us. And the burger is always better 2 seconds after it leaves the grill than after a trip in the Prius to the home base. So that's been very good to us. Yeah.
Terrific. And so when were you actually shut down when Denmark was one of the early countries to go into lockdown in the middle of March, I think? Were your business was just said close on the catering side and on the restaurant side, or were you able to stay open partially?
I would say it like this, that we had to stay open, not trying to sound ungrateful in any time, because I think the Danish government has a long way done some very good things to help businesses as myself and a lot of others, especially the ones that were really hit. We have some that actually profited a lot from this crisis, and then there was all the others like myself. And yeah, we lost pretty much 85% of the revenue from one day to another, actually, because our main business in the catering is delivering lunches for companies. And when she closed down the kindergartens, of course, everybody had to stay home. And then our fundament just, from one day for another. Parties that you can only at that time be like 2 people together or 5 people, I think the rule was. So of course, it's not much party for 5 people. Unless it's the right people, of course, but but you know what I mean. We also have a cantina in a gymnasium, the local gymnasium here, and of course this was also closed from one day to the other. But then we started to get these packages. Of course, they were a little bit delayed, and we had some buffer that we could survive on until we received the help from the government, which we were very grateful for, and without these we would have been out of business now. But along with the packages, we still had so many what's the English word? We had a lot of bills to pay still, exceeding what was it was a no-brainer. We had to stay open. The staff, which have a long talk and to hear what were their opinion about it. People were reacting very differently in the threat, or what we should call it. Some were very afraid, and some it's just a flu. So all agreed that we would stay open, and we will try not to make any wages cuts and any things like this, because these are people that have been employed for 10 years, some of them, and I'm very happy with, together with my wife, of course. She's also a very big part of the company, actually half. So this was very important to us. The hourly based wages we sent home, and they got the pay from the government, and we should only pay the last 10% ourselves. All this combined still left us with a very big loss every month if we didn't have any business at all. So the day after, we started a new line, which actually is going to be a ongoing business from now on, which is very e-commerce and very social media oriented and things like that. So in this term, it's very interesting. It's daily food we deliver to private households. They order the day before within 12 o'clock, and they get it delivered to the door after the day after. And we made it so that it was a good thing to order more stuff and then get it cheaper. The life date on the food is up to 3 days, so people. It was all about staying home and staying apart, and this was a very good solution, especially for the elder people, so that were very isolated.
And this is cooked food. This isn't just raw ingredients. It's not a grocery or an uncooked. I know one restaurant that was getting rid of their steaks because they were selling their steaks at a discount, uncooked, and giving instructions on how to cook them at home as best you could. So this has now gone to almost a food delivery business to the private household, leveraging your knowledge on food delivery to businesses, I'm assuming, in the ability to do things at scale like that.
Exactly. We are very old school in terms of the. I always have a problem about ordering food online from somebody you don't know, and there's a lot of feelings in foods, and we produce the food, so of course it means a lot to us, and it needs to be presented the right way and introduced the right way. I don't see any idea in receiving a box with groceries and then you still have to cook your own meal. You've got a recipe and all these things, of course, but where's the idea in that when you can call an online supermarket and get it for half the price anyways? So we make it finished fresh on the day. I think we are alone on this market right now. It's very hard, it's very demanding, but as I said, we have very good people in our staff, and we are not afraid ourselves to throw the gloves and get that's a bad term in these times, but to get involved in the production, which we always are.
How did you get the clients for this? So I understand that you started your catering business in 2006, so you've built up I'm sure a loyal clientele amongst the businesses, but suddenly pivoting to private homes, especially since all the offices, I think offices are going to be less busy in the future, as they're going to encourage people to work from home and a number of actions like that. But how did you find these people? What sort of advertising did you do to get to them and tell them you're doing this business now?
Yeah, we started this business in the year 2004 actually, without a web page. We had an email though, and a phone, and that's about it. And then it was word of mouth, which I always have thought is the only way to promote food, because you don't have to start selling yourself if they get recommended by another that they trust. 2-0 on the home court already there, right? So this is the way we have been doing it. This is talking about the catering business, not the burger restaurant. That's a whole nother story. But this we did like that, and have great success with this. But when the crisis hit and everybody was staying home, nobody was talking together, and we could see nobody knows us. Only this crowd that we keep on saying, of course, comes new and stuff like this. But we needed something to get this off the hook. Proof and Butter then has always been very represented in Facebook, which this clientele that we have there are very Facebook oriented. I don't even have my own Facebook, Instagram, all these things. I'm not into that. But I must admit that in business-wise and getting something started from one day to another, there's only one way of doing it, and that is social media. I talked a lot to my good friend Carsten about these things because yeah, you know him and he knows a lot of things about it. And I don't. And then I started posting some. We used the users of Bøf and Bolle's Facebook to promote our own business or our main business through those contacts, which in start gave some confusions for the customers which is which, and they started to order things from the delivery menu from the they couldn't find it on the takeaway menu and all these things. And of course this was a problem, but it's nothing compared that you immediately hit. I think we have 5,000 users. The first normally we get 2,000 or 3,000 hits when we post something on Facebook. In this time, we started this concept, and we get like 10,000 hits the first day.
Really?
Yeah. And this was, I took a picture of the menu, you know, and put it in on Facebook, and it worked kind of. Yeah. And then as the time went on, and we could see that it was steadily growing, the concept, and actually more or less becoming a business that was solvent. It's a contender for taking up some what you call it, production lines in the kitchen, because of course this way we can produce it much more efficiently, and we can buy exactly the amount, the kilos of meat and vegetables and stuff we need for the courses to fit this number that we know from the day before. Then we have to cook all the food in the morning, but this is no problem. We're used to this, and we're used to big scale kitchen without compromising on quality, which is a common problem with big kitchens, that when you like cooking for 5,000 people, that you just think, well, it's never going to be good. But we have some techniques that avoid this problem. And then it started out, and then.
Let me, sorry to cut across you, but let me understand. So you had a website for your catering business, but you didn't really do much to promote it. It was just word of mouth led people there, and then they contacted you, and then you had an ongoing relationship of emails and telephone, basically. So exactly. So now you're saying, I better be engaged and put my Facebook and using your restaurant employees to help drive some of the engagement. Now, because it's become a daily interactive, because people don't necessarily buy a subscription from you, they might just call up on the day and say, tomorrow I want delivered something. So it's not like like the businesses you had. It's more on demand, So
it's on demand, We don't do subscriptions. We have talked about it, but I don't like the idea of subscriptions in any kind, actually. So it's pretty. You can hit a week where we have 6 or 7 courses on, and you don't like any of those, and then it's pretty bad to be in a subscription.
But you didn't like Facebook either, so you never know.
Actually, it's okay with people using their time for whatever they want, but. Well, I don't think I had the time for that. I talk to hundreds of people every day, and I don't need to go home and talk on the computer as well. So it's fine for me. But I must admit, the first 10 years of IB Lindhartd, we didn't have a web. We didn't even have a web page. Yeah, we had like a business card in there, only the information and nothing else for 10 years. Anyways, we grew to being a pretty substantial business without any online presence at all. 2 years ago, we made the web page as we have today, which is a very nice web page. I think videos and everything, and I think it's cool. So yeah, of course we have to smell the coffee as well, right? But so I haven't seen the real reason for me to be very present in online, because word of mouth is a very good way of doing it, but it needs to have traffic, and it needs to have people, and you need to meet new customers as well, because times have changed. People don't speak as well as much of these things as they did in the old days, and the old days like 10 years ago, which it was much easier. So yeah, this is here to stay.
Yeah, it is. And the interesting thing is that when you talk about word of mouth, I mean, social media is basically word of mouth these days. And
Yeah, I can say
where
that.
they would be scared to say it to your face, they're not scared to post on Facebook or on Google, I had a terrible meal or I had a great meal, but they may never tell you that.
No.
So being monitoring your reputation must be something you're thinking about going in the future, I would think.
Of course it is, and it's good and bad, right? Because there are crazy people everywhere, and unrealistic people everywhere, and I think there's a big difference between a production company and any kind of that don't produce their own product, because you have a relationship to this for this product, and you put your heart and soul in things. It's not like putting something on a shelf that somebody else have made for you, sell and take the difference. So every time we hear things, of course it hurts, and I'm a chef, and I have a temper like most chefs have, yeah, I need to learn to control myself when people were downright disrespectful and stuff like that, because this is what happens on computer. This would never happen face to face. This is only in your privacy at home, getting your stuff out, right? I don't like this kind of I like to be informed if things are good or bad. Of course, this is very important for any kind of business. Of course it is, and this is a very good tool for that as well. But what that was the funny thing is, but I called Carsten and I said, "Have you seen my posting of this menu?" Yeah, I've seen it, but I didn't want to read it because it looked boring. Of course, just to promote, try and take some pictures or make a little video and stuff like this. And then a day goes on, and work. Now I have the time to try and make a video of these courses where I'm filming myself, opening the packages, putting on the plates, and these things, and explaining. And I'm gonna hear from this for a long time from Carsten, because it's like tripled the sales this day, right? Because of one video. And we met a lot of new customers, and we got a lot of remarks in regards to this video as well. It's very informative and good to see, and all these things. And so there's no doubt in my mind that the live photos and things that attention is the way to go on social media for our kind of business, of course.
It's good to know. Are you thinking about other channels like Google AdWords and things like that? Because social media with the Instagram and the Facebook is one channel, but then a lot of people use AdWords, and certainly for driving directions and things like that, they use a lot of that when they're searching.
We have not tried that. We tried the optimizing. Google optimizing, is that the same as AdWords? I don't really know, but to get higher up on the in the seek results, right?
Search engine optimization. So optimizing your website to rank on. Yeah.
This was a terrible waste of money, I must say. You have to pay so much money to even to see a difference in this. AdWords we have been talked about because it would make good sense. Then when people seek, they get the address and all these informations as well at the same time, which I can see a good idea in. Instagram, we started out with Instagram, but the guy who controlled Instagram, and he was a young kid, 20 years old, and he was a master in these things. And when he stopped working with us, and then this Instagram as well stopped, because I didn't prioritize it at that time, I must say. So this we will start up again, because pictures do work. They do tell more than one picture tells more than 1,000 words, or what you say.
So here's a question for you then. So would you use an outside agency to manage your social media versus hiring somebody like this young kid who's obviously, did some good stuff for you and your team's doing well? Because internally, Matt, was that something you would bring in-house, i.e. hire a social media manager, or would you prefer to go out to an agency to handle that?
That's a good question, because I think I would use an agency, though, in terms of our presence. If we were 100% based online company, of course, I think we would have our own in-house expert in these fields. But on the other hand, I think, I don't know about this, because when every day happens, it's always the last 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, you come home, I need to do this Facebook thing, and I need to do this. And to be honest, I don't think it would be doing it in this rate, because, what you call it, constant. Yeah, exactly. No, it needs to be around the same time every day. You make these posts, and consistency. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And we need to post it at the right time where our customers are, as a couple of hours before eating dinner time, a couple of hours before lunch time, and these things. So when they are thinking it, you are hitting them at the exact time with the information they want right now. And this would be a problem for me to take care of, because I also need to make some food. I need to answer 1,000 questions, and I need to take the phone. I need to write an email, and all these things. And this will always be prioritized for me, instead of making up. Maybe these thoughts are changing as well. But normally I would prioritize these things in terms of a Facebook app. To give you an example, yesterday we didn't sell that well in the delivery bags, maybe because things are beginning to get back to normal here in Denmark, and people are starting working. And the cool thing about this has been everybody has been home, so you would never ring in on a closed door. But we didn't sell as well. And then I think it was 2 hours before deadline, I made a reminder. Remember, we have also Bogo this week or something like that, and we sold 50 courses. That's like 2,000 Danish kroner for what took it 2 minutes of work in the right time. So so it call me stupid, but it
sounds like you're a believer, or becoming a believer. And that's great, and that is always the challenge for small businesses, is being able to manage their time, because as a business owner, the number one answer we hear from us, I don't have time to do it. And the second thing is, I don't know how to do it. Now, I think more and more people have learned how to do Facebook advertising. They know Facebook postings, but there's still some technical aspects that need expertise or education along the way. But really the number one thing is, small business owners don't have time.
No, exactly.
And that's
this is where the agency would come in hand, right? Because if you could schedule something, make one general plan together with an expert or something like this, and say, this time, and this time, we have these and these posters. Would you please take care of this? And then you wouldn't have to wonder, and it would come on all the social medias that had any interest in terms of our business. This, I think, would be a very, very good help, and I don't know if it's already is available, but otherwise it would be a good market. Yeah,
there's all sorts of platforms available, and I'm not going to give you a phone number, because you'll probably get lots of people calling you if we're not.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, please don't. I'm impossible.
But I think it's great, and I really appreciate your time, Bo. I appreciate your time, and it's lovely to hear that you've managed to sort of pivot on this. And I think you made a comment to me before we started saying the people who are going to come out of this well are the people who reacted firmly and quickly. And it certainly sounds like you've taken, you're not afraid to say you're wrong. It may have taken you 10 years to say you were wrong, but you got there in the end.
No. No, of course, you have to be realistic also to yourself and to your family, and everything you have a consequence, right? Everything you do have a consequence, and this is a family business, and we have our oldest son is the one who takes care of the restaurant, and me and my wife drives the catering business, and our youngest he's an employee. He's in school right now, so of course, but and this makes us able to adjust very fast from one day to another. And of course, you have the employees that have the right set of mind as well. And what is the option? If you have, this is our whole life. We have been building this business from scratch, with all what that embraces in good things and bad things. Everybody who have started up a business will exactly know what I'm talking about. So the option was to close, and what then to do? So I don't. When the packages come, there was a tendency to lean back and say, okay, it will be taken care of. And some maybe have been doing like this. And I can see now that that we are losing a lot of competitors in our business, which of course is sad. But yeah, one man's dead is another one's bread. And they were sitting on their hands. Yeah, nobody's gonna come save you. You've got to do something yourself, and with these tools that are new to me, I'm very surprised at the power of it. This, if you knew me, hearing me say that is a big thing, I can tell you. I have many discussions because yeah, downright I just don't like the internet, because I think it's gonna. There's a lot of good things, and there's also a lot of bad things. Especially for the small businesses, detail and stuff like that is very pressured by the online companies, right? So, and I think it's not good for the community.
I really appreciate your time, and we wish you the best of luck, and thank you for taking time out of your busy day to talk to us. So thank you very much. And
you're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
You too. Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.